It's amazing how sometimes you guys just act like two, like real brothers, like you're still like 12.
Yep. He's the best. He's the best. Oh, look at this monkey. Still want to get one. I don't want an ape.
Do you?
I don't want an ape. I want a monkey. Not an ape. There's a difference. Monkeys have tails.
Do you know how to take care of them? Like, where do they
Yeah.
go to the bathroom and all that?
Here's what you do. You treat them like a gentleman. They're going to act like a gentleman, okay? You're going to go potty in the potty. They're going to wipe the little monkey butt. They're going to wash their little monkey hands. And then they're going to sit at the little dinner table and drink the little monkey meals. They're gentlemen.
Are you sure?
No.
Monkey meal. What's a monkey meal?
A banana. You've never seen Curious George?
And then what happens like when you got to go on a trip someplace and, you got to find
Monkey's
somebody
coming.
who's...
Monkey's coming.
Oh, the monkey's coming.
Monkey's coming with me. Monkey's got his own seat.
First class for your ass.
Guess what kind of seat it is? Monkey seat. Monkey seat, monkey do.
Ha, ha, ha.
Are we in?
Yes, sir.
Unfortunately.
Dave, where are all my little tools? Oh, here they are. David, want to do a podcast?
I do.
Unidentical.
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 That was
Two cocks.
two cocks. I cocked it twice for the two cocks that are on the mics. Cocked it twice for the two cocks on the mics.
Yeah. Yeah, they don't count me in that. which is
Cocked
fine.
twice for the two cocks on the mic. Cocked it twice for the two cocks on the mic.
That was Two Cocks on the Mic by the Collix Brothers there.
What's up, everybody? Welcome back to the Unidentical podcast with me, Jason Collins, my identical and unidentical best friend and twin brother, David Collins, and super producer Solo Man. Please continue to rate and review at Apple Podcasts, Spotify, iHeart, wherever it is that you download your old podcast audio. Download us. Make sure you leave a 5-star rating and a review. It really helps us with our algorithms. If you want to look at our gorgeous faces, as always, we are on YouTube. We have a YouTube channel, guys. We are with it. It's called Unidentical Pod on YouTube because we're with it. Make sure you like, subscribe, smash that notification bell. So you know when it's going to go to hell. I'm into rhymes right now. For everything one-stop shop, Unidentical Pod, go to unidenticalpod.com. Unidenticalpod.com. You can look at merch. You can get your merch there. You can get hats. You can get beanies. You can get coffee mugs. You can get cute girls and t-shirts.
The short bob hair.
Yep, short bob hair is very, very cool. And the mom shorts. We also have links to our social media there. We also have links to everywhere you can get these episodes. And of course, there's a good looking link to my stand-up special. It's not me, it's you. If you got any questions, if you got any ideas for stories, if you got any would you rathers, if you got anything fun and funny or any whatever you wanted to do and talk to us about, go to unidenticalpod@gmail.com. That's unidenticalpod. I can't say that fast.
Unidenticalpod@gmail.com.
There it is. There it is. And guys, do you want a good quality podcast? Meet me at the corner podcast place here in Long Beach, California with the super producer Solo Man. Get your podcast done here. It's a beautiful studio. Several of my friends and comics and colleagues have come here to do their pod, and they're all happy, as will you be.
Good place.
Good place.
Thank you.
Not
Thank
the
you.
podcast place. Think of it like Melrose Place.
That's it, exactly.
Right.
Podcast place.
Meet me at Podcast Place. Podcast Place is the place. Meet me at the Podcast Place. Podcast Place is the place.
And not Podcast Palace. That sounds pretentious.
No.
I get that a lot.
Also, it's too
You get
small.
Palace.
Too small to be a palace. That's why I think it's funny when men, no matter where they live, they're like, this is my castle. This isn't a castle, dude. This is a studio apartment. There's no turrets.
And then when there are turrets and they're fake turrets. Come on. I hate
Right.
that.
Turrets. That reminds me of that. Who's that actor there's that clip? It's all over social media where
This one architect would put too
You just
many
interrupted
turrets
me.
on his designs. He had Tourette's syndrome. Anyway.
Do we hear that? Solo
Mm.
Man?
Solomon ignored.
What?
You didn't hear David's amazing joke?
Yes, I did.
The architect
I
too much turrets on his turrets.
Anyway,
Turrets. Remember that clip? Surveillance does.
what? I don't know what
I
that
can't
is.
remember the actor's name.
Sounds-
Sam. God dang it. Rockwell.
Oh,
There's a clip online. It's a movie that he did. It's just the weirdest looking movie, but he's like, has these tiny binoculars and he's like, oh no, turrets. We have turrets. Surveillance does.
I do remember that. You showed it to me.
Yeah, it's so funny. Why am I talking about that? Hey, how was your week, Collings?
It was good.
Got a whole lot done?
I got, I mean, I did what I needed to do, did the things that I do, designed some things on my computer, took in Dodger games.
Oh, Dodger
Yeah.
games. The Dodger games, so many of these people are saying that they blew that game on purpose because they wanted to win at home. But Solomon had a great
Well, I don't
point.
believe that because
Why would they do that? Because they'd have to do it twice. In that.
Yeah, if it was a 2-2-1-1-1, that'd be different.
It's just incredible that they win it. They win 3 in a row, and then the one they lose is by a lot.
Well, there is another team involved, though. It's
What?
not like it's only them.
Really?
Yeah, I mean, you
Who's
go
the other
down.
team?
Yeah, the Yankees.
Oh, there's another team on the field?
Yeah.
Holy shit. I've been so focused on the Dodgers that I didn't know they were playing the Yankees. So they got the Dodgers and the Yankees.
I do.
No, dude.
So I did that. I watched
Yeah.
some games and then a couple games.
Why did you said nobody thought the Dodgers would win? Why?
Yeah, I mean,
They
'cause-
won 3 in a row.
Yeah, but you're up 3-0.
Right.
You're the Yankees. You're the Eastern Conference or Eastern whatever American something. I'm used to football. Sorry. You're the champs on that side of it, and you're at home,
So
and you're in your second game at home. It's like you really think,
but they lost
guys
their
are gonna
first
go
game
down.
at home.
yeah, but they're not going to lose the second
Losers.
game.
Yeah,
There's no way.
I was.
There's no way.
Fucking Yankees.
Yeah.
So I think it might be over tonight, but
You think the Trolley Dodgers are going to win tonight?
yeah, I think it's going to be 4 games to 1.
Where Brooklyn at?
Yeah,
Where
you see
Brooklyn
that one? I think they had a thing where it showed all these Dodger fans in the Bronx. They're just like in the street with cops and stuff escorting them, and it's crazy.
Nuts. A buddy of mine, Franz Cassius, shout out, funny comedian. Check out Franz Cassius. He is a Brooklyn born and raised guy, but he's out here now.
Yeah,
And he's always got his New York stuff on whenever I see him. So when the Dodgers won to get into the series, the final, we ended up at the Laugh Factory together, and he's wearing all Dodgers stuff.
Mm.
And I go, what are you doing? He goes, well, I'm just getting him a shout out for making it in. But during the next games, I'll put my Yankee stuff back on. I'm like, oh, that's weird. He goes, don't forget I'm from Brooklyn. And that's when it hit me. I'm like, oh, that's right. They were the Brooklyn Trolley Dodgers.
yeah, which is surprising. They haven't rolled out some old man who. Yeah, I remember when they were the Brooklyn Dodgers, and I'm
They
still
will.
rooting for them. Unless they're all dead.
Well, yeah,
Be
because
dead
we're
at
the
this
old men
point.
now. We're the old men that go, I remember back in 88. What was it, 88?
Yeah,
Was the last time we beat the Yankees? When old Fernando Valenzuela, is it Venezuela or Valenzuela? Which one is it?
Valenzuela.
Is it Richie Valens? Is it
Fernando Valenzuela.
Richie Valens La Bamba? Got it. That's what it is. Over there at Chavez Ravine.
What about you? What was
Yeah,
your,
what have you been
did
up
you
to?
do?
I had an interesting day yesterday. So I had nothing to do and no car. My car's in the shop, and my wife was using the other car, my car, for work. But I didn't want to be a couch potato all day and just sit at home. I got all my editing done. I got all my emailing done. I got all my business stuff done. So I decided, because it's been a while, to check out the greater Los Angeles metro public transportation system. Yeah, there's a bus stop right outside my house. I walk around the corner to the bus stop, got on the bus, took the bus, the Long Beach Transit to the Del Amo metro station, took the A train into downtown LA,
Yeah,
had lunch, did some stuff out there, had a nice little time. One of the things that David and I used to do when we were kids is we would go downtown LA and we would ride the elevators at the Bonaventure Hotel, which is now the West End Bonaventure. Did that. Always reminds me of Willy Wonka because you break through the ceiling in
Yeah.
those elevators.
Yeah.
And so I did the whole downtown LA thing, went to 7th and Fig, had lunch, had a coffee at, there's this cute little mom and pop coffee spot there at 7th and Fig. It's called Starbucks. I don't know if you guys have heard of it.
Oh.
Got a vanilla latte, sugar-free.
Yeah, next to CPK.
Got a sugar-free. Yeah. Have you heard of that place? Cute little Italian restaurant. CPK. Had my
Family owned.
sugar-free latte because I'm trying to defat myself. And then walked around the downtown area a little bit, and it was nice. And then got back on the train.
Well, back up. So how was that? How was that train ride? I mean,
There was
that-
fine.
Yeah, I used
how
to do
many
it
times
often,
did you
but I
get
haven't done it in
offered
while,
a
so I
drink?
wanna-
Like
What's
somebody
that?
tried to sell you something?
Oh, they get on the train and they got their cooler.
yeah,
They
yeah.
got a backpack, and then they got a bin full of. They got like a shipping bin thing.
Yeah, and they walk down
And they have it's Doritos, and it's always Cool Ranch.
But you also get
Doritos,
that-
headphones. They're
That's it,
selling
yeah.
tasers now.
Charger.
Headphones, tasers, earphones, tasers. You know what I mean? And then they have the ice box full of like sodas and waters and stuff
Yeah.
like that. I didn't partake.
So no crazy people just yelling for no
Oh, I had
reason?
on the way home, a drunk lady got on the train, and decided she was going to sit not next to me, with me.
Ah.
If you didn't know me, you'd be like, "Oh, they're a couple."
Oh, no shit.
She was sitting really close to me, but she had attitude. She goes,
Wow.
"I just lost a dice game." That's the first thing she said to me.
I hate
And I
when
said,
that
"Hello,
happens.
how are you doing?" There's a little guy, when I say little guy, he's almost, you can't say midget now, right? He's almost a dwarf.
Okay.
He's probably a few inches taller than a, certified dwarf.
Oh,
You
they're
have a
certifying
certificate
them
on the
now?
wall?
Yeah, they're certifying dwarfs now. You got to be under 4'9". I think it's 4'9". But
It's all framed in magic.
he's sitting across from this little innocent guy, and he's got his backpack on his front, which, I get that. When
It's a
you're in
front
the city,
pack.
You got to put your backpack on the front, put your wallet in your front pocket, take your watch off.
Yeah.
We know the drill.
Yep.
So he has his up, but because of that, he's got his phone propped up in front of him, sitting on top of the backpack, texting, but it looks like he's videotaping just because of the angle.
Right.
And she's like, "What, motherfucker?"
She's
like
posing and stuff.
No, it's just
Mm.
like, how dare you?
and then she
tease me?
starts flipping him off.
It's
And I just went, "He's not doing anything." She's like, "Oh yeah, look at him. Oh, he's an asshole." And then the dude across from me is looking at me, and we're just trying not to laugh. He's like, "That dude didn't do
I
it."
want to know how you won her affection. How did you?
I think it's because I didn't look like a victim.
Oh,
This guy was tiny.
oh,
I was, I'm hard. You look at me, you're like, that guy has killed 7 people.
okay.
That's at least in my fantasy mind. And then she's just sitting on me, and then she puts me in it and looks at him and goes, "Me and him got this." And I'm like, "What?" And then
were
she's
you doing?
I was just sitting there laughing.
Oh, how funny.
Finally, and she's talking, and he has headphones in, so he has no idea what's going on until he sees she stands up and gets over him and starts doing this, and he's like, "What?"
He's like, what did I miss?
Yeah. So then the funniest thing is she moves on because this young man got on the train and he stood by us, and he was, all right, he was a traditionally good looking dude.
Right.
She was done with me as soon as she saw him.
Oh.
She got up, moved on to him, and she's like on him. And you gotta understand, this isn't a homeless woman. She was
Was he a white guy?
he was a black guy, long dreadlocks.
Oh, okay, okay.
Had a good looking dude, beard. She was a black woman, tall, in shape, attractive woman,
Just drunk.
drunk out of her mind at 2:00 in the afternoon.
Oof.
And she had just lost a dice game, is what she told me.
Dang.
She just went down the train, becoming enemies and friends with everyone. And it reminds me of the story you
Now
told
I
me
wanna
about
know
being
this
on a train
story.
once.
Oh yeah, don't.
So my brothers took the train one time. You were taking it to and from somewhere. I can't remember where you were. You were going in LA, in and out of LA. And you go, "Man, last night on the train was a trip. I had to get off early and then get back on the next train." Do you remember what happened? You said some gangster got on the train. And the
yeah.
first thing he said when he walked onto the train was, "F white people."
Yeah. And I was the only white person.
You were the only white people
Yeah.
he was effing.
Yeah.
So I got off.
Yeah. You have 2 choices. Stay and see how it plays out. Risk your life, risk his life, or just get the next train.
Mm-hmm.
And I think you made the wise choice.
Oh yeah.
Public
Yeah,
transportation is
that A train is probably the most,
It
Fall
goes
South.
through the worst neighborhoods.
Well, yeah, it goes through the middle of Los Angeles, and you'll get people who just like they want to
Okay.
go down there to their friend's house, so they'll jump on, and then they'll jump off like 2 stops later, knowing didn't pay for anything,
Oh no.
and knowing you know,
And
ain't
if
nobody's
you're
gonna
not
say
at one
anything
of the
to them.
main stations, there's no styled opening and closing. They're constantly making sure to remind you to pay.
Yeah,
Make sure you tap again when you get on another train. Hey, motherfucker, what if I don't tap? But when you say the middle of Los Angeles, those of you who aren't from here that are listening or watching you've heard of Watts.
Mhm.
You go right past the Watts Towers. Actually, one of the stops is called the 103rd Watts Tower.
yeah. Have you ever been to the Watts Tower?
Yeah. Several times.
yeah,
Beautiful.
yeah.
Kind of cool. Yeah.
Yeah.
Very
It's
cool.
interesting.
You're in South Central Los Angeles. You're in Watts. You're in Compton. You're in Inglewood. You're going through some of the roughest gang related spots too. That's why when they first opened it, so you start in Long Beach is mainly a Crip city,
Yeah,
but then you're going to drive through LA. You're going to run into those blood cities, right?
yeah.
Why did they call the train back then the blue line and the
line.
red line?
The red line came a little. The red line is that's the
That's the one that goes to
Underground
Hollywood,
now.
I believe.
yeah.
Where is it at?
There's a big difference between the blue line and the red line. In the blue line, you can get jumped into a gang.
Yeah.
In the red line, you can get written into a pilot.
Yeah.
It's like, you know what I mean?
Right.
So that's very
Oh,
different.
wow.
Yeah.
Nice.
It's true though.
Dave's coming with it.
It's true though. Get on and you'll
Yeah.
see.
Yeah.
All of a sudden, it's
Artists.
hipsters and writers. And,
Yeah.
Well, the funny thing is the green line, which would go to Redondo,
Yeah.
would
Which is
connect
now
to the
the
blue
C
line.
line.
Yeah, that would connect to the blue line. So
Which is not an A train.
in the morning, you see all these white people coming in from the green line now getting on the blue line. You know, with
And they're all
these
huddled
crazy-
together, like, just look forward, don't make eye contact.
They sense motion.
They sense motion.
It's sort of like that. That's nothing to do with being racist. It's just real because I've ridden that a lot of times.
You want to sit in a virtual melting pot. Take the train. It's like that in New York too.
Yeah.
When I would take the subways in New York, you're just like, you're literally, there's a family, there's a businessman, there's a gangster, there's an art. It's like it's all in one train, just chilling.
The difference is though that in New York is it's acceptable for everyone at every class level to take the train.
Yeah.
Here it's mainly people who don't have cars, who
Right.
don't have a lot of money,
Right.
who live in
Because
poor neighborhoods. Everybody else.
we're not
drives
like
in
New
Southern
York, where
California.
in New York, you don't even need a car,
right.
especially if you live in the city. You do not need a car.
In fact,
Which,
it's-
by the way, if I
costs
if I
you more
lived in
money
New
to have a
York,
car.
I wouldn't.
Same.
I'll never forget as a kid, my dad went to New York before I'd ever been there, and he came back. He's like, "Yeah, they have their building, and then they have a building for their car. So that's my building, and that's my car's building." Like, what? You know?
Yeah.
And then you have these, and it's so congested that all of the cars have these rubber inflatable bumper protectors on
No
the back
kidding.
of the cars for parallel parking.
Yeah.
Because you're just gonna bump the other car, you know? Where in New York, it's a huge walking culture.
Yeah.
Everywhere's walking distance. Everything. If you jump on the train, you get into Brooklyn. Jump on the train, get into the Bronx. Jump on the, you know what I mean? It's just, that's how it is. And I think it's awesome.
Yeah.
Where in LA, it's just
It's car
so
culture.
spread out.
Yeah. It's car culture.
It's so spread out that even when you get to the places in LA where you don't need a car, you had to have a car to get there.
yeah.
And so what you said, there are people that, I don't know if not necessarily they don't have a car, or maybe you can't afford a car, but you could afford, because my day cost me in travel yesterday, it cost me $3.
Yeah. Yeah.
And that was a bus and 2 trains,
yeah.
2 buses and 2 trains, $3.
I had a comedian here the other day on a podcast, and he was talking about, I guess he moved here from someplace. He didn't have his car yet, so he's like, "Yeah, it's gonna cost me $95 to get back to LA." I'm like, "Dude, why don't you just take the train? It's gonna cost
For an Uber, right? He's talking
Yeah,
about
for an Uber.
Take the train.
Yeah, just take the
The
train.
bus, I have the Metro tap.
card,
I
yeah.
have it on my phone. You tap it on the bus, that's 75 cents. You tap it on the train. My bus coming home didn't even charge me. I tapped it and it said, charge $0.
Nice.
Now, I don't know if that's a bonus for using it all day or what.
Maybe.
Who's the comic?
Now you're gonna make me remember.
We're
his
probably
name.
our friend. We're probably friends.
You probably are.
Bill Burr.
Oh, I've heard of him.
It'll come to me.
White guy, black guy.
Black guy.
Ew,
Black guy.
ew, 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 ew.
Okay.
God damn it.
It'll
Free
come.
speech, baby. It's funny because I thought it was, and I could say it. Here's the thing. Can I talk about Tony Hinchcliffe for a minute?
Sure.
Oh my God.
Okay. Not a fan of what he said, are you?
Why did they have a comedian up there in the first place?
That's
all I got to say.
And there's my point.
That's it.
Why are they acting so shocked? Because not only is he a comedian, he's a roaster.
Yeah.
That's his shtick. That's what made him famous. His roasting ability is what got him, is what sold out Madison Square Garden. You knew what you were hiring, buddy. And he did exactly
Not
what
for that
he
rally.
does.
Right. And that was my point. It's like under certain circumstances, there's nothing wrong with his content. Right. But the fact that it's in a rally in a highly contested, very volatile political competition.
And here's what I say to Tony Hinchcliffe. Cash that check, buddy.
Yeah.
And it's so funny to watch all the other, "Ooh, we don't know him. Ooh," even Trump's like, I don't know that guy.
Yeah, because everybody's terrified of being canceled because of this cancel culture. Everybody's so terrified about it. But you know what? Also, here's the thing. My personal opinion of Tony Hinchcliffe, he's incredible at what he does.
Yeah.
I'm not a big fan of his actual stand-up. I don't think it's horrible, but it's not like, oh my God, fucking, it's not shaking the walls funny. It's just not.
Yeah. But
However,
when he's doing his thing, though,
when he's doing his thing, and that's what he's famous for, and that's what you hired, don't act surprised. Don't act shocked.
Yeah.
And then, hey, other comedians that are shitting on Tony, yo, you know, it blows my mind because a lot of these guys, other comedians, like I'm not a big fan. I'm not.
Yeah.
But I'm not like, fucking hang him by the, he's a comic.
Yeah.
Because, and I'm speaking, like, I'm not speaking from my personal views. I'm speaking as a comedian. Yo, what he did wasn't crazy.
No.
It wasn't crazy. It wasn't nuts. It wasn't any crazier than the fucking, he didn't say anything crazier than the politicians are fucking saying.
Exactly.
Because if you watch the whole thing, everyone said horrible shit. All of them. But the only one that got fucking focused on and singled out was the comedian. I can't believe it. A comedian said. What do you mean you can't believe a comedian said that?
Right.
He's a fucking comedian. They're going to talk shit. That's what we do. We talk shit. We make shit funny. We make fun of shit.
Yeah.
We talk shit.
I just think it was an inappropriate thing to have a comedian at. That's all.
But it happened.
Yeah.
And it wasn't Tony's fault.
Mm.
He didn't go to them going, hire me. They hired him.
Right.
You know?
Yep.
Say what. Also, don't forget comics, freedom of speech. And don't forget that if freedom of speech goes away, so does stand-up comedy.
Yep.
Don't fucking forget that shit. As soon as freedom of speech is gone, so is stand-up comedy. You know, and people get like so shocked at what they say. Hey guys, watch the old roasts. Watch the old Friars Club roasts. Some of the shit that Rickles says to the fucking president. Watch it. It's not shocking. It's shocking, but it's not like, oh my God, I can't believe it.
Mm-hmm.
Well, it comes with an automatic take it with a grain of salt card, though.
Yes.
Because he's a comedian.
Yes. Hinchcliffe said it in a thing. He goes, these guys just didn't have a sense of humor. He said they don't have a sense of humor. That I don't agree with. They don't have his sense of humor. And that's one of the things I remember as a comic. I could literally say whatever the hell I want anywhere. However, I know there are certain things that I shouldn't say or I wouldn't say. I know that. You know, it's just about reading the room. And he didn't read the room, maybe. Who knows?
Well,
or the room didn't read him.
I think that's it.
Here's the funny thing
Tony
I heard.
just went up there and was Tony.
He's just Tony. He was just Tony. And by the way, guess what, guys? You hired Tony.
Yep.
You hired the
him.
guy who's famous for roasting the shit out of people. Why do you think the show's called Kill Tony? You know that's what his show is called.
right. Yeah.
It's called Kill Tony because at the end of it, you're like, you want to kill this fucking guy.
Yeah.
But but that's what everybody's a fan of. So don't act surprised. So yeah, don't be shocked by what fucking Tony said. And like there are people going, he just ruined his career.
No,
he fucking
He didn't.
He
Now even
100%
more people know who he
didn't.
is. Yeah.
Because what we forget is our views are our views and they're personal views. But what you forget is this country's made up of a bunch of fucking crazies.
So then if you were the person in charge of bringing in talent to this rally, would you have hired him?
Yep.
You've hired
On that side,
You would have
the
hired,
way their rhetoric,
Yeah.
absolutely.
But see that, and that's
guess what the best kind of publicity is? Free.
Yeah. I get that part, but
We're still talking about
and that's why I think it's actually part of a plan.
Yes.
They knew what they were doing. They knew what they were doing because you get these people who are actually saying this stuff in a way that is offensive to other people,
Right.
and then you bring on a comedian who says it as part of his regular monologue.
Yeah.
And it's just crazy.
Now, I do sympathize and I understand with people of color that are very offended by some of those comments. They were very offensive comments. However,
In that context.
however, comedy clubs are full of that shit.
Oh, yeah.
To be shocked by what a comedian said about another race is ridiculous, because if you go to any run-of-the-mill comedy club and there is a diverse lineup, 100% guaranteed they're all going to be talking about the other races.
Yeah.
I've never been to a Latino show where they're not talking shit about white people. I've never been to a black show where they're not talking shit about white people, Latino people, Asian people, black people.
Yeah.
And who tells me the best black jokes? Black people. Yeah. So it's just a thing. It's just a thing. We talk shit. And some of the thing, and by the way, Latin girls getting pregnant, that bit that he did at the rally, that's a hacky fucking bit. In the history of comedy, when have Latin comics, white comics, not said, well, I married a Latin woman, so of course I got 16 babies. Like, that's just a hacky joke.
Yep.
You know? So stop being
Like
so
I said,
shocked. dude.
Wrong context. is
Wrong
what I'm
context.
saying.
Wrong room.
Yeah, wrong place. I mean,
But
just, yeah.
Not wrong room, but not the wrong room. That's the thing. 100% legal.
Well, yeah, it was 100% strategic.
Yeah.
Because now it's like, oh, they're talking about this
Yep.
now. And all that.
My mind has probably changed on so much of this since becoming a comedian. Because I've had people try to cancel me for shit I say.
Mhm.
I have some comments calling me, oh, typical white bigot. I've been called a white bigot on YouTube more than I can count.
Yeah, you're like the notorious white male.
Mm-hmm. The guy with Latino kids and a Latino wife. I'm a huge bigot. Yeah. Although my wife, man, she won't stop making tortillas and tamales.
Oh my God.
Do you eat a lot of Mexican food? I mean, is your wife traditionally? You said
No,
you said Latino. Is that
she's a Latina. She's born and raised LA.
Mhm.
She's an East LA girl. She lived most of her life, all of her life actually, growing up. She lived half the year in LA and half the year in New Mexico.
Oh, New Mexico.
Yeah, there's a lot of Native American, like Navajo, on her side of the family,
Right.
as well as Mexican on her mom's side. On her dad's side, that goes to Mexico, and I think it's like maybe Guadalajara. I don't know, but she grew up understanding and speaking Spanish, but not fluently.
Right.
She can carry on a conversation. If she has customers at her work that only speak Spanish, she can handle it.
They just be like, you ain't from here.
Right. Exactly. Yeah. But she's very proud of her Latin heritage. She's very proud to be a Latina. She's an amazing cook, but she's also a breadwinner. My wife doesn't have a job. She's got a career.
Mm.
She's the shit. But I'm a bigot, so
Mhm.
she should probably dump me. Don't agree. Yeah, she should probably do that. I think my brother and I might do a train day today.
I'm in. I want to do it.
We'll do some public transportation, and then what we'll do is this time we'll go to the beach.
Now, have you guys
Okay.
done Amtrak? Because obviously the Metro is different from Amtrak.
Yeah.
Amtrak, yeah, did a few times as a kid.
Yeah, it was so. We were young. We did an Amtrak trip to Portland.
Right.
Mm.
There's only
The
one
Coast
way.
Starlight.
Starlight.
The Coast Starlight. Take you.
Here's the thing with me. Sometimes I could be bougie, but also it's because I don't like being around a lot of people all the time. If I'm gonna do an Amtrak type train trip, I want a cabin.
Oh yeah, bedroom.
I want a bedroom,
Yeah,
and that's very expensive.
yeah. It's
More expensive than flying.
Yeah, and you have to plan for that because, like, you're right. We did a trip to up there, and yeah, I got the bedroom and everything because it's like, and it's cool. It's a bedroom with a shower and all this other stuff.
Yep. And then you got the window of the world going by.
Yeah.
Why is train travel so much more expensive, do you think?
Well, it is and it isn't. Depends on how
Yeah.
you do it.
Right.
Like his trip to where he went was not expensive.
It's Santa Barbara, yeah, and $47 for business class. It's
Oh.
$30
That's
coach.
Which where you get an assigned seat and you're in a
No,
nice-
that's not bad. Okay.
Yeah,
What I as a
And
child
there's no chance of falling out of the sky. That's a bonus.
there's that.
there's that.
But if some kid decides to put a penny on the tracks,
No, here's the problem.
derailed.
Here's the problem with train travel. The Amtrak doesn't own any of the tracks. The tracks are all owned by the freight companies. So they're always going to prioritize their own stuff. So they'll give Amtrak a window of, okay, your train needs to be through here. And if they miss that window, now they're waiting for all this other freight traffic, which is why trains are
I did not
notoriously
know.
late.
I didn't even think of that.
Yeah, that's
So
why they're
Amtrak,
notoriously late.
essentially, they're renting the rails
Yeah, yeah,
from
yeah.
the freight companies. Wow.
Yeah.
And the freight companies come first because that's where the money is.
Well, yeah, and that's why you don't take the train long distance if you need to be someplace on a certain day at a certain time.
It's like
it's leisure.
Yeah,
it's like if
You
you're
take it because you want to
Right.
enjoy the ride.
if you have a road trip that you have a time constraint on, don't rent an electric car.
No,
I did that.
Oh God.
Oopsie daisies. But I looked into doing the train. I looked into doing a cross country to New York on the train.
yeah, that's
Takes
on my
like-
bucket list.
Takes like 3 weeks.
Not cheap. Not like 4 days.
I'm just kidding.
It's like 4 days, right? About right.
Yeah, yeah.
Not cheap, dude. But in that 4 days, actually, in that 4 days, you're not renting a hotel room.
Nope. And you're meeting a ton of people.
Well, that's
creating-
that's the downside. Thanks for pointing the downside.
That's just because they wrestle you into doing comedy bits on the train.
Oh God! I don't tell them. Tell me a joke. I would go. What's your job? I'm a surgeon.
They don't-
Fix my knee for free.
They don't do group activities on trains, right? Like they do on cruise ships.
Well, they may do some theme type things on holidays. Or
Why do you want to
something.
do line dancing? On the
no,
train?
God, no. I was going to say
go to
that's
the
going to make me
observation
not
car for
want
line
to do
dancing.
it. That, because a cruise to me, it sounds like a nightmare.
Tell you, my memory of us on that Amtrak as kids, though, was amazing.
So fun.
The diner car, the observation.
The
car.
observation
Yeah.
car. They had a movie car
Yeah.
before. You know.
I remember for years we had a deck of cards from that train that
Yep.
we kept forever.
I was obsessed with trains after that, and then because I don't have the tism, that went away. David, on the other hand,
Wait, you're
still
obsessed
loves
with
him a
trains?
train.
Trains are awesome. I love
Yeah.
trains.
Oh,
I don't know models. I like the mechanic. I like the idea of it for some reason. And I like monorails a lot as well. Just something about
Monorail.
it
You know what I
fascinates
like
me.
about
I like
trains,
model
though?
trains.
What
Love
I
looking
like
at them.
about trains is the fact that trains traverse societies, cities.
Yes.
And they
Watching the world
and
go by.
yeah, and you're not part of anything. You're just going.
Yeah.
Just the whole idea of that. That's what I like
Mhm.
about trains.
You're just a quiet observer of the world passing
Oh, so poetic.
window. oh,
Yeah.
Say, how did you say? They're just
quiet observer.
the quiet observer of the world.
One of my
of
favorite
the
things to look
stand.
at is they do on YouTube. They do those cab ride videos.
Oh yeah, yeah.
Those
yeah.
are amazing. And there are these people who have these miniature railroads throughout their property, not just in the house, not just out, but going in and out of the house. And then
Yes,
they'll
sir.
post these cabin rides where they have basically a GoPro on the
Now
front
you
of the
want to
train.
see a
It's
nerd
really cool.
alert. See when they invite all their friends over, and these guys are acting like actual engineers and
Oh, like
all
they're
of
wearing
they're-
the costumes.
They're like
Oh,
the
geez.
real deal.
See, I can't
you
get
know?
that far into things
Yeah.
like that. I can't. Yeah, I can't wear a like.
David would love it if he had like a model train going around his house.
Yes, that would be.
I would love that too, though.
That,
One of the things I was obsessed with always around Christmas time were those big mall Christmas trees, but they
Yeah.
have like trains. There's the train sets set up around them. There's the Del Amo Mall. No, I'm sorry. Yeah, Del Amo Mall has it, but also South Coast Plaza in Orange, South Coast in Costa Mesa, California, has when they set up for Christmas, they have this giant, like almost skyscraper type tree inside the mall. That
Yeah,
goes
yeah,
through
yeah.
all 3 stories, and there's these great little cities and trains that are going all around it and stuff.
I'm gonna go
love
see
stuff
that
like
for sure.
I actually follow a couple of
There's a-
Instagram accounts that are.
There's a great setup. The Pomona Fairground, LA County Fair,
Mm.
has a great miniature train set up there.
So David,
Huh.
I had a question for you.
Yeah.
Were you into N scale, O scale, or Ho scale?
Ho's got to ride the train too. Ho? Are you saying Ho scale or
Yeah.
Hole?
Ho scale, H-O.
Ho. What's the difference?
Well, N scale is a super small one. Like there's standardized sizes for miniature trains.
What's a?
Like Lionel train.
Dorks.
Lionel train was O scale.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah. See,
But the ones you see in most stores are Ho scale, H-O scale.
I feel like my obsession is more in the observing and appreciating it than putting it together. Except for, I do want to make a miniature monorail system. I do want to do that.
Okay.
But as far as the trains and all the details, I'm obsessed with them in this, in where I like to observe them and appreciate, not get in there. And I have issues with my hands anyway. I drop things and break things.
Oh.
All right. See, we're not talking about stand up, so.
Ooh.
Got me.
Oh.
Got me.
Love that.
Do we have spooky stuff? Do you want to talk about anything spooky that you want to talk about? Did you watch anything? Because we're still in October.
I'm trying to think if I
Yeah.
saw. Oh yeah, yes. Well, it was in the Halloween section. It's more of a suspense thriller. There was some. We both watched it. Because I remember we talked about it briefly. There was just a couple things we didn't like, but the Trap. M. Night Shyamalan.
Also, did we talk about Hysteria?
Yes, we did talk
Okay,
about
we
Hysteria,
talked about Hysteria.
but we didn't talk about Trap.
Trap
Did you watch it?
with Shamalamadingdong?
Yeah,
Yeah.
it was pretty good.
It was sometimes the acting was
one
a little
particular actor,
cringy. Sometimes what's his name?
Josh Hartnett.
Hartnett was a little.
Well, he was nuts.
He was nuts.
He was
but-
starting to lose it.
Yeah, but he was
falling apart.
right. But people around him weren't going, "Why is he acting?"
His daughter was. She's like, "Dad, you're acting super weird. What's your deal? Why
Is
do you
that the
keep
one
leaving?"
they were at a
M. Night Shyamalan's daughter had a part in it, and that was serious nepotism because she was
But tis.
awful.
But I think
Also,
she's
her
a-
eyes are way too far apart. But go ahead.
I think she's I think she's a musician first.
Yeah,
before an
that
actor.
was actually her singing and performing.
Yeah, all the
She's-
music. It wasn't
And
bad.
by the way, she's pretty good at that.
Yeah, it wasn't bad at all. The music was pretty good.
But it
But-
was. But I ended up liking her. I ended up getting into her character, and I ended up going, "How dope that it's like famous celebrities helping them."
Now-
And not just freaking out and crying. She's like
Right.
making a plan and a
Right.
strategy.
But the whole time I was feeling so bad for his daughter. What was the daughter's name? Was
the little one.
yeah, because this is this incredible experience of going to her hero's
Yeah.
concert, and then here's the thing: it's a trap made for
A serial
a
killer.
serial killer.
right. I
What do
remember
they
that.
call him? The
Now there's twists.
slasher. That's what
Yeah,
they call
they called him the Butcher.
him. A butcher.
And you know how M. Night always has his twists or reveals and all that?
Those aren't your grandparents.
Right.
I
This
love that
one happened early. It happened very early on, which it was easy to figure out even from the previews that he's the serial killer and he's the one that they're trapping in this concert.
Yeah, pretty much the
But the
previews tell you that.
Yeah, but there was some reveals that came about after that were like, oh, so I enjoyed it though. Just the whole idea of it's that whole Dexter thing where they've got you rooting for the bad guy.
Right.
And just like, oh, they're gonna get him.
Yeah.
How's he gonna get out of this one? And
It's
trying to
just-
see him,
it's
trying to
nuts
see
that-
him escape the trap.
That he was able to hide it from his family the whole time. and all that.
Yeah,
And
man.
I don't want to give away the end.
Yeah, no
No.
spoilers, please.
Okay.
No, see, that's what that yeah.
But M. Night was in it. He
he
always
trying
had
to be
it.
like
He's like
Stan
he,
Lee,
he's no
Hitchcock.
Hitchcock. He's a big Hitchcock fan, so he uses like the color red in all of his movies, and he always has a cameo in all of his movies. And
Do you feel like he's redeemed his career
Redeemed it from what?
from what?
from that point where when you heard his name associated with a movie, people are like, "Oh,
This is where Jay and I have always
being
been.
in the entertainment side of it. I don't take any. First of all, I never listen to critics. I do my own
Never.
criticizing. I never go, oh, the critics didn't like it. But that was one of those things that became trendy
Right.
to do. Oh, you're
Right.
supposed to hate M. Night Shyamalan.
Right. That's
It became like a trend, and I'm like, I never got into it.
right.
I
never bought into it.
I only watched one movie. What was a movie where everybody turned old on the beach?
oh, old."
Old. That movie could have been way better. It's like he had it's because of this trend, everybody hating him. I think when he did that movie, it looked like very limited budget,
I thought that movie was great.
but there was like
Yeah.
like quality to it that was bad.
Oh,
Like
I
it was,
don't remember that.
and some of the actors, and I'm like, this could have been way better. But
Yeah.
I ended up getting into it, but it looked really low budget.
Yeah, and even when the reveal came, it was a little bit complicated. It
Yeah.
wasn't just that flip of a switch thing. It was
Yeah.
just-
But I never disliked him. I think a lot of I liked the water one, the chick in the water, whatever.
Lady
it's
in the
called.
Water.
Oh,
God.
that was a little
How in
weird.
the
That was
pool.
like a
That-
fever dream.
That ranks on one of my 10 worst movies.
It's
of all
just
time.
it was just so weird and crazy that I'm like, what's
Yeah.
fucking next? And then I did like Sixth Sense.
Very much.
Well, everybody liked The Sixth Sense.
I like Signs.
I thought everybody.
I liked Unbreakable.
Oh no,
I liked
that's
all
what
the
I'm thinking of
Unbreakable.
Signs.
Signs was the one. That's also on my top 10 worst of all
I know
time.
you don't like the swing away.
No,
Some of the directing techniques that he uses, I really like. Like there's a scene in Unbreakable where Bruce Willis is realizing how strong he is, and his son's helping him, and they're in the basement, and they
Where
just
he's
keep
doing the
adding
weights?
Yeah.
and every time it cuts to the next weight, his son's farther away.
Yeah, right.
And then the next one, he's like up on the stairs, like peeking around. Like it's intriguing him, but it's also scaring the shit.
Well,
out of him,
Bruce
right?
Willis, I'm sure, is telling him stand back.
But
Stand back.
but no one saw that, so it was just
Yeah.
funny that the next scene he's further away. The next scene he's further away. The next
Right.
scene, you know?
And did you notice in Trap, you never experienced the concert as a concert.
Right.
You're only hearing it as if you're in the audience.
Right.
So it doesn't sound like just,
Yeah.
that the sound person just added it. Or it was really cool. I dug it. I thought
But
it was
also, what a big set.
good. Mhm.
That's you're in like a crypto arena type.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm
yeah,
curious to know where they shot it.
Yeah. Who knows, man?
But that's a huge, and a lot of it. I wonder if a lot of it had to be camera angles with the extras. But there were certain scenes where you're like seeing the whole arena.
Yeah.
I'm like, was that CGI? Is that
Who
really a
knows?
full arena? Because that's a lot of money for extras.
Mm-hmm.
And let's see. The Rogers Center.
Rogers Center,
Toronto.
Canada.
Yeah.
I performed there. Holy
Okay.
shit, that's pretty dope.
Yeah.
I worked in that arena with Russell Peters.
Cool, man.
Oh, so it was shot in the Great White North.
So obviously the trap didn't work when you were there.
No, I got out.
Mhm.
I got out. Hey,
Eh.
good one. Good one. I want to do a would you rather.
Do you have one? Do we have one?
Would you rather? Oh, this is an interesting
So
one.
you have okay.
Would you rather be half your height or double your weight?
Damn, man.
Half my height.
That's
Half.
easy.
Half my height.
Double the weight. It's
Think about it though. When we
Life.
would literally be, we would only be 3'1".
right. So here's why. It would be awesome. Because then you'd be famous as shit.
That's true.
And you wouldn't have the health issues of having to be 400 pounds. Because if I was double my weight, I would be
You could fit in cool
I'd be
small
400
places.
I'd be 420 pounds or something.
You could fit in cool like small places.
Yep, you could hide.
The only reason I say double my weight is because you can lose weight. You can't gain height.
Ooh.
That's the only reason I say
Damn.
it. So.
Look at Jay's perplexed.
How long would that take though? And then I'd have the
Then
I'd have
about
the-
the effort.
Dude,
Yeah, then I'd have the
3
flabby
foot
loose skin.
one. Come on.
yo without the flabby loose. And
Well-
then there's always you. And if it's about getting laid, there's girls with that fetish.
Stupid.
I'll calm down.
I think I'm gonna go I'm gonna be a little guy.
Yeah, I'll be a little guy. And I got some friends that are little guys, and they're fun.
Mm-hmm.
Would you rather have an amazing kiss but terrible sex, or terrible kisses and amazing sex? In other words, would you rather be with somebody who incredible in bed but just awful kisser, or incredible kisser, terrible in bed?
I'm not a good. I don't like kissing.
I don't like kissing.
Most people, yeah. I think if you get to a certain point in a relationship, people don't kiss.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And during
I'll just
sex.
go like this, and then be like,
And it's not for me it's not like, oh, you're gross. No, I just have issues with my personal face space. I don't like people.
oh, this one's gonna be the easiest for men. This is easier for men. Would you rather have a partner who is always too busy for you, or one who is overly clingy?
Oh.
Be too busy for me.
Oh,
Give me
yeah.
my space. I love that. That's an easy one for
Yeah.
me.
Yeah.
Go on, get to work.
Mm-hmm.
Do you guys agree?
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
That was an easy one, huh?
Well, it's the whole distance makes the heart grow fonder, and familiarity breeds contempt.
Would you rather have morning sex or night sex? Morning sex or late night sex?
Morning.
Yeah, me too.
Really?
But it has to be doggy because I don't want to smell that breath.
yeah.
You're so good.
What? Honest?
Come on.
Would you rather be big spoon or little spoon? Depends on the relationship.
Big.
Depends on the relationship. If I'm a gay man, I am definitely the big spoon. I don't want to be spoon, bruh. I don't want to be speared. But anyway, there's a few of those.
That kind of stuff.
Yeah. Next time we need to play a game.
What game?
I don't know. We're just kidding. I made a game screen for you guys.
You did?
You did
Yeah.
not, you big liar head.
see a game
Let's
screen?
it.
You want to see it?
Yeah, let me give her our games.
All right, here. Let's see. Let's go to the game screen.
Is it gonna have noises like?
Dum, ding, dum, dum,
Oh, look.
dum, ding, dum.
Yeah, so
I have
let's see.
two.
Dum, dum, bing,
Let's see.
biddy-da-doo-doo.
Oh, where's it?
It's right there on the screen. I love it.
There it is.
Why am I losing? Why am I losing?
Well, you're not.
Oh, okay.
What are the two? What does the two denote?
Oh, that's a score, but that see,
Okay.
I can change the score.
Yeah, see, I'm-
What about the number 4 and the number 3 on the bottom? What do those mean?
Oh, that's if you had 4 players.
Oh,
So it's only 2. So it's David and Jason.
yeah. So we'll be number.
So David gets a point. Now Jason
Yeah,
gets a
see.
point.
we're gonna utilize that in the
Yeah.
future.
for sure.
Yeah.
But I got to be number 1 because I was born first.
And
Always.
Oh, look,
you
winner stuff,
win,
winner glitter.
won.
yeah, and I can
Winner,
still do
glitter,
this.
Glitter for the winner.
Glitter for the winner, chicken dinner for the winner.
So there you
You're
go.
the big wiener.
There's your game screen.
Damn. Dates. Got some dates coming up. Let's see. November 8th, I'm going to be at Wordplay Comedy in Los Angeles, California. Stand-up comedy. It's a show called Wordplay. The venue is on 2748 West 8th
Wordplay.
Street, Los Angeles. Got that on the 9th. I will be at the Ice House, 7:30 show at the Ice House on November 9th. Ice House, November 9th. What do I got? I got stuff, you guys. I got stuff. More stuff. What do we got here? Oh, I'm doing that's a private event, so you guys can't come. November 15th and 16th, I'll be in Las Vegas. November 15th, it will be the New Woo Cannabis Castle, or whatever you want to call it. New Woo comedy show there in Las Vegas. And then at midnight that same evening, I will be at the Dirty at 12:30 at the South Point Casino. On the 16th, I'll be at the Foundation Room at the Mandalay Bay. And then November 20th, I'm headlining in the Gold Room at Mic Drop Comedy Club in San Diego. So
Have you ever done
these
improv?
shows. Huh?
Have you ever done improv? I never
Yeah.
asked you that.
The comedy club or the
No, have you ever done like
I do it all the time.
you do improv?
I use improv in my act,
Okay.
but I don't do that annoying improv.
Got it.
Give me a situation. I'm driving a car,
Okay, I'm gonna give you one. You're driving.
but the bottom part of my body is a horse. I don't like. There's nothing more. Oh my God. There's like a running joke in comedy where as soon as your friend goes, "You want to come to my improv show?" Everybody kind of goes,
and they're not your friend.
no longer my friend. But no, I've never been in an improv troupe. They always have dumb names.
CROUPE.
We're the Wooden Nickels or whatever. I don't know.
Gosh.
Mission Improbable. Nope, never done that. But I do improv during my act. Like if something happens with the audience or somebody says something or I'm talking with an audience member, you're always improving that.
Yeah.
It's not written material.
Of course, right.
But there are comics who have like banked jokes for certain questions that they ask an audience, and you see it all the time. But
Yeah,
but
never.
if done well,
if done well, it's
So that's a
really
skill.
good. It's
That's a
done.
skill.
If done well, there are people that I freaking love. Some improvisers that if you've never seen or heard of or watched Rory Scovel,
that guy's so funny.
this guy is so funny. He's so just naturally funny. And he does a lot of, and he's doing an all improv special where it's all just off the top of his head. It's off the dome, as we like to say.
Yeah.
But no, I use it in my act, but I've never been in an improv troupe or anything like that. I just think it's interesting that the largest chain of comedy clubs is called the Improv.
Mm.
The original name of that club is the Improvisation Comedy Club. And but yeah, very rarely do they do improv acts. There's a place in Santa Monica, if you like that sort of thing, you want to watch it, called West Side
I don't like it.
Okay. West Side Comedy Theater in Santa Monica, they have a lot of improv acts that they have there, and then of course Uprights, UCB, Upright Citizens Brigade.
Yeah. Improv would stress me out.
Yeah.
I can even
Especially
watch
because there's
improv.
always going to be somebody in the group that's bad.
Yeah.
That person usually thinks they're the best.
They're the best. It's like Michael Scott.
Yeah.
Everything ends up becoming a drug bust.
Who's a gun? He always
Always has a gun. It's always freeze. You're under arrest, FBI. But no, I've never done it. But those are some of my dates coming up. Make sure you continue to rate, review at Apple Podcasts, Spotify, iHeart, wherever it is that you download your audio. Make sure you leave us a great rating and a great review. Helps us out. Please do it. Also, make sure you like, subscribe, hit the notification bell on our YouTube channel, Unidentical Pod, and unidenticalpod.com for everything. One-stop shop, Unidentical Pod. You got all the links there for everything. Merchandise, shows, episodes, all that. And if you got any questions, any would you rathers, any stories, any spooky stories, any funny stories, whatever you want, any questions, any ideas for guests, unidenticalpod@gmail.com. I do have a guest that I'm going to bring on here that you guys are
Ooh.
going to enjoy. Darius McCrary. Talked to him yesterday.
Okay.
I'm going to have Darius come on the pod. If you don't know who Darius McCrary is, If you were living under a rock all your life, you've never heard of the show Family Matters. Family Matters. Darius was Eddie Winslow. He was the brother on Family Matters. And he's been a child actor and an adult actor. And he's got some stories to tell, and he's become a buddy. So we'll have Darius on. It'll be a fun episode.
Nice.
Anything else?
I think you covered it.
Okay. And if you want to do a podcast, meet me at the corner of Podcasting Place. Bye.
Not an actual corner.
That was good.
Unidentical.